And I just decided, you know what? I think it's time to really take the step and move to France, because that was my main goal, that was my main dream. That was one of the main things that really shaped me and shaped my taste and has shaped the way that I function in my career.
Hi and welcome to Style Speaks. I'm your host Mo Adams, and today we're in Amwaz in Via Riyadh. Joining us today is a prominent figure in Saudi fashion, stylist and creative consultant, Haya Abdullah. Welcome to the show, Haya.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. It's a busy time in Saudi right now, of course,
yes.
Towards the latter end of the year. There's a lot of events going on that you've been a part of, so can you talk us through how that's been for you?
It's been one of the most hectic months ever. There's been Fashion Week, fashion shows back to back, actually in the same location. There's been a ton of events. There's been Haya Hub. There's a lot of things coming up. So definitely winter time in Saudi is the prime time for fashion, I would say.
I keep checking my email, and I've seen you in your Instagram. You know, whether it's pop-ups, events, restaurant openings.
Yes.
I'm checking my email for the invitation. I don't see anything, so it's.
I'll send a note. I'll send a note.
No, but it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm interested in obviously learning more about yourself, experiences, insights, and really how you made your mark in Saudi fashion. So just to start off with, take me back to that moment when you entered the industry, in 2014,
yes.
When the industry was more so very different to what it is today.
Yeah, so the industry back then was non-existent. I was still a fresh high school graduate.
Yeah.
I had no clue what I was gonna do. I knew that I had a passion for fashion, obviously. As much as it's a term that gets thrown around so easily, I truly did. I didn't know whether I wanted to go into design or styling, because as I said, back in the day, it wasn't really that clear. So I tried my best. I was in school in the States at the time.
Yeah.
I would skip school to go to fashion weeks. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And I think from that, I gained more of a confidence in the direction that I wanted to go to. Things that I liked, things that I didn't like. I mean, back then when you're so young, you're just super observant of everything around you.
Cool.
I would take in just inspiration from little things, but I would say being in New York City as a young teenager, just like winging it and going with the flow really gives you a good personality.
Definitely. Even me, like when I lived in the States, I felt like I matured through those 6 years that I've done throughout my life.
Yes, I would agree.
Definitely. Going back to, were there some early influences that also shaped your interest in fashion? Anyone that you kind of looked at, whether it's a sibling, a friend maybe, or anything like that?
I looked up to my grandma a lot.
Nice.
She was my main fashion inspiration in my life for the longest time. She was such an exuberant lady. She was such an exuberant lady. She loved fashion, she loved couture, she loved experimenting with makeup and jewelry and all of that. I was always surrounded by that. But then growing up, I was so influenced by little things that I was remembering as I was talking to you about this episode. I remember specifically fashion shows by John Galliano. I had no clue who that was, but somehow I just remember being a child and just remembering these images. And as I grew up, I think I found more inspiration with music. I think a lot of people from my generation were inspired by Virgil Abloh and Kanye West. So that to me also was a huge part. And seeing how Kanye almost merged art and fashion and music into one was really interesting, which made me feel, like if this is what you like, there's a way to do it. It doesn't have to be by the book. Exactly, it doesn't have to be by the book. There's no blueprint. And I specifically remember I was in 12th grade when the Donda fashion show dropped. It was a game changer for me. I mean, my style I had no business dressing in all leather and being so minimal at the time. But I feel like it was so ahead of its time back then that I would still do it, even to this day.
And I was going to say, in the industry, there's often kind of pressures to conform to certain standards or industry standards, depending on where you're from or where you are. How have you kind of maintained more so your unique perspective? And is there a story you can share maybe that kind of challenge your creativity or determination in any way?
Yes. One of my very prominent stories is I was in between going to school and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the fashion industry. And I just decided, you know what? I think it's time to really take the step and move to France, because that was my main goal, that was my main dream. that was one of the main things that really shaped me and shaped my taste and has shaped the way that I function in a way in my career. I've learned so much. Still trying to learn the language, but it shaped me in many ways that I can't even begin to list. From the simplest things, because I had to learn everything from sketching and pattern making and styling and all of that. I mean, now I really appreciate the experience, and I feel like it shaped me for the person that I am today, not the person that I was as a youngster. Yeah. Exactly.
But you know, with living in different places, obviously your personal style may tweak or change in any way. You've described yours as minimal with a twist.
Yes.
Can you kind of elaborate on that and how your fashion journey has really evolved from being in all these different locations?
Yes. I've always been into streetwear, always. Today I picked something a little bit more sleek.
There you go, of course.
But I'm a diehard Carhartt fan. Nice. I love wearing a lot of menswear. I like wearing menswear in a way where it doesn't look bulky. It doesn't have to look bulky for it to be like almost androgynous and stylish. You can always wear something in your size, but make it work.
Fix it up.
I remember back in the day, Kanye West wore this button-down Celine shirt that was for women's, and to me, I was like, you know, you can actually shop in the men's department.
What do you think of the skirts? I've seen a lot of people start wearing skirts now.
I mean, if it's a kilt.
If we're talking about mixing, you know, gender.
If it's a kilt, okay. You can make it work culturally.
I don't think I made that transition to skirts yet.
But like a skirt, it's not for me.
What about, like, what would you say has been the biggest influence on your personal style as a whole? You know, is there any kind of trends or maybe designers that you look at and draw inspiration from?
Yes, I have always loved Victoria Beckham.
Nice.
I have always loved Jerry Lorenzo. The way that they approach brands and the way that they approach what they do is so interesting to me, because they have both been so underestimated when you look at their backstory. Yeah. But then they, on the other side, they prevailed and they came out with such inspiring collections. And to me, I think they're one of the best in the industry, and they still have their status of being low-key. They're not in your face. You don't see them on billboards, but you know that they're the best and they're good at what they're doing.
I love Jerry Lorenzo, and I remember when he dropped the Essentials. It was I think that was one of the first pieces where it was like graphic almost. You know, the Essentials at the front. And I remember just buying the shorts, the t-shirt, the sweatshirt, the pants, literally everything. Yeah. But then obviously I see the collection, the Fear of God, the latest collection. It's very simple. Yes. You know, very, very minimal with a slight twist. How you can dress it up, dress it down. So really, really versatile, and that's one of the things I admire about, you know, Jerry Lorenzo. But for you, how do you kind of maintain or stay on trend while, you know, kind of having your own sense of unique style?
I think being true to yourself, being true to my taste. I never stray away from, let's say, the colors that I like. Yeah. I see trends that I like, try them out, see how it feels. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I just pass. But I'm open to trying trends on projects that I'm working on. I don't mind that at all. Like some of my projects, if you see them, you wouldn't even think that I was in charge of doing them. Yeah, so just take it as it goes. I'm not too strict with trends. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Let's head this way and explore more.
Let's go.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit about our industry here in Saudi. You know, we've seen incredible transformation in recent years. But what do you make of the evolving perception of Saudi fashion as a whole?
It's very interesting to me. I was talking about this a while ago. I mentioned that I don't really like when someone says transformation. I like when someone says reformation, because we've always had these amazing things. It just wasn't really that focused on, I would say. Fashion has always been a part of the Saudi DNA, I would say. We ourselves as Saudi individuals love to express ourselves, are the first to buy fashion trends, are the first to run and like support local brands.
Take initiative, yeah.
Exactly. So it's really interesting to see. I feel like it's evolving in a really fast pace, but it's also just to catch up with everyone else.
For sure. And Fashion Week wrapped up, you know, around a month ago or so. What do you think of how it was? Obviously, your experience as a whole, because I know you were there. And was it what you expected from Saudi in its first, you know, Fashion Week?
Oh my God, it was beyond all my expectations. Beyond, honestly. Like, I can't even begin to explain. The way that it was so well put together, the brands were on the highest standard. Like, there was no mishap, anything. Everything was so perfect. Yeah. I feel like this is only the start for something even more better in the years to come.
And I think that's down to obviously the women playing a significantly important role in elevating the scene as a whole.
Yes.
First of all, as a Saudi woman, how does that make you feel? And secondly, what do you think are the key factors to their kind of ongoing influence?
Makes me feel so proud, honestly, because I feel like we've been so, there's been such a bad misconception about Saudi women, and I feel like we have proved ourselves, and we're here to stay, honestly. We're not going anywhere.
I love that. And I want to dive into a bit more about your journey. You know, you started off as a producer, you know, kind of contributing to significant campaigns as you did with Nike for Air Max there. You've collaborated with, you know, on projects with friends in the industry. You've partnered with, you know, huge beauty brands, and you were a recent guest speaker at Haya Abdullah alongside an international makeup artist. So you're thriving as a full-time content creator.
Yes.
But I want to ask, is there a specific project or campaign that really kickstarted everything for you?
There was, back in 2021, I was selected with a small group of girls from the Middle East. I was the only one from Saudi, the only one from the GCC, and we attended a beauty seminar trip for the brand, and it was almost like an introduction to the beauty world for me. Because to me, it's such a personal thing. It comes with your personality. I never really showed that side of me, even though I've loved beauty for so long. And I feel like beauty and fashion go hand in hand. So that gave me the confidence to, let's say, just jump into it and experience it and embrace it.
Yeah. But what really inspired, would you say, the transition from, you know, more so behind the scenes to now thriving and enjoying being on camera? Was it really just you kind of getting the repetitions of experiencing that side of the camera, or was there anything in particular that, you know, made you make that transition to now being a full-time content creator?
I think it's a little bit of both. I started off, obviously, as you said, behind the scenes. It was fun. I still like it, but I feel like I'm more specific with the projects that I take on these days. I've achieved amazing shoots in the past. I would love to achieve bigger shoots than what we've done. And in the sense of content creating, how that came about is my page has always been public. So it comes with the territory in a way. And you sort of start to gain a little clout with brands that you wear, brands that you tag, little things that you post. And I think the ball just kept rolling and never stopped.
I love it. And obviously, what are some of your goals and aspirations for the next few years? I know you've got a project going on, so could we kind of get some insights in that?
Yes, so I'm still in the process of outlining what I want to do for a creative agency. Me and my sisters have been planning on doing that for a couple of years now. Since both of them come from different worlds, it's kind of hard to have like a solid time frame to do it. But I'm very hopeful and very excited for it. Whenever it comes, it comes. But we'll always keep putting in the effort.
I love it. So hey, as we always do for the final part of the show, we go through a styling segment. So let's go this way and kind of explore more on that. I like to think of, you know, styling as like a form of art, right? Is there any like kind of key principles that, you know, you follow when creating a look? Is it like specific, maybe mix this color with that color, anything like that, you think?
I think simplicity is key.
Nice.
I always work around the simpler the better. Colors as well. Obviously, I'm wearing my three favorite colors today. So
statement piece.
Exactly. So that's what I always roll around, you know. I like simple colors, statement pieces that are simple and saying so much but being quiet at the same time.
What about like double denim? Are you okay with double denim? Is that something that you don't mind?
I like mixing the same patterns in one outfit. It's really cool to me.
Talk us through like styling a client, you know, for a shoot. You know, how do you choose more so the right pieces and accessories to create a cohesive look as a whole?
I think I would always love to know more about the person first, even if it's a model. Sometimes you look at photos and in real life, you get like a different vibe out of the person. So it's nice to really get to know each other first, have a really good fitting session. I really believe in fittings. I hate when there's no time to do so. Exactly. So I believe in planning and then taking pre-styling pictures to the things that you want to wear the day of. It really helps.
Yeah, as you said, as a stylist, there's definitely things to keep in mind. Client preferences, project requirements, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But how do you kind of balance that with your creative vision? Because you as a stylist have to have input into, I guess that's your selling point, right?
Exactly.
You're knowledgeable, you know how to piece things together.
Exactly.
So how do you kind of balance that with, you know, the project requirements and the client preferences? Do you sometimes push that a little bit, you know, or?
Try to fight as much as you can.
There you go.
But if you can't, just work with what they have to, what they're demanding in a way. I remember doing a shoot for Chopard, and obviously it's jewelry, so a lot of the pieces were like really high up. Exactly. So we had to improvise. Yeah. So a lot of improvising, I would say. Nice. That works too.
Cool. So we're in the men's section now. You have the pleasure of styling me. So
Amazing.
Is there anything that kind of stands out to you?
Amazing. I mean, clearly, as I said before, I'm obsessed with leather. This bomber jacket is impeccable.
Nice.
I think I really liked it, like it with just a simple plain t-shirt underneath.
This t-shirt works for you?
I mean, we can work around something else, but so far this is what I like.
Nice.
And I think it works well with what you have.
Perfect.
With the Travis Scotts.
Nice, yeah. Get these on. The Travises and cool. the black pants.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'll give this a go, and we'll see see how it turns out.
Nice.
This is the fit. What are you thinking?
So cool. So
minimal
cool.
with a twist. Like
so cool. I feel like it's your personality.
Yeah?
But with a
bit
take.
of you too. With the
exactly, with a take.
No, but the colors actually go really well.
Gotta show the rollie though.
There you go. Guys, let me know what you think of the fit. For me, absolutely smashed it. And Haya, thank you so much for coming on Style Speaks. It's been a pleasure having you on. And your journey is an inspiration to many. So guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you next time on Style Speaks. Peace.
Thank you.
We had an amazing time exploring the fascinating world of fashion and can't wait to bring you more exciting content in the future episodes. Don't forget to tune in next time for more insightful interviews, exclusive insights, and all the latest news from the world of fashion. Thank you for joining us on Style Speaks, where fashion truly speaks for itself.